this word. There is one little word that we use all the time in life that can completely make a conversation go sideways with your partner. And you might even not recognize that it was that word that caused the sideways shift. This word can be the catalyst to a fight starting or to your partner totally shutting down because it packs a big punch. And we use it super innocently. Today, we're going to talk about what this little word is and, of course, how you can shift your language to create connection and understanding and love between you and your partner. I am Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. We are diving right in. And if you're watching on YouTube, I don't have my pretty rainbow surfboard today. We have a white surfboard. It's pretty. It's just not the same. So just naming it because I miss my board. And the word is but. And before you peace out because you're thinking, I know all about this. I know that we shouldn't say I'm sorry, but, so I know what she's going to talk about. Hold up, please wait, please stay, because the negative impact of this word goes way beyond apologies. It goes way beyond that classic I'm sorry, but that we've all heard about. We use the word but in so many scenarios where it completely changes the conversation. So I want to talk about why it creates disconnection and why it creates negativity the second that it hits our brain. I looked up the definition of the word but in the dictionary and I didn't whip out a dictionary. I Googled it, but dictionary, Google, same. So I looked it up and it says that what you say after but contrasts what you said before it. So that's the definition. What people often say is, and me included, is that it erases what you said first. So the truth is it doesn't exactly erase it, but it does make what was said first way less important. It feels less important. And psychologically, people remember what comes after the but more than what came before it. So that's why it's super damaging in our conversations. I'm obviously going to share some examples so that we can really highlight this. And I think it's super important to emphasize again, we use this word so innocently. We might not recognize the impact of it. We might really mean the first thing that we said too. And the word but just really gets rid of all of that. So bringing in a whole lot of love, as we always do, as we talk about this little word. And it's such a little word, 3 letters, my goodness. So if your partner said to you, it makes sense that you're late, but I'm mad that dinner is cold, you're likely not going to register their understanding of you being late. All you're going to hear is they're mad that dinner's cold. And say you had to stay at work late and there was no way that you could get out of it. Or in a different scenario, maybe your partner said to you, I know you're totally stressed and I get it, but I had a really hard day too. Again, their acknowledgement and their validation, it just gets tossed out the window because that but brings the focus back to them and makes your stuff so much less important. It feels less important. And we know this on a psychological level. We could imagine that your response might be defensive. It's not a competition. Why does your day have to be the thing that we talk about? You don't get it. You don't get what a stressful day that I've had. You don't get how much I've been doing. Or maybe the conversation just ends there. You just kind of withdraw, you pull away, you shut down, because what's the point in carrying on talking about this thing? You don't feel heard when they respond in these ways, which makes all of the sense in the whole entire world because of the word but. Or, different scenario, say your partner cracks a joke and it really hurts you and you let them know. You might hear your partner say, I get that you're hurt, but I didn't mean it like that. And then that I get that you're hurt, that's starting to validate you. It's starting to validate your feelings and see you. And then it is swiftly wiped away by your partner explaining away their words. But I didn't mean it like that feels totally dismissive. Regardless of how they meant it, it hurt. And saying anything else dismisses and invalidates your feelings. And like I mentioned, that classic, such a classic, I'm sorry, but. This might show up as, I'm sorry I started yelling, but you were yelling too. I'm sorry I shut down earlier, but you were being such a jerk. Using but in these apologies totally undermines the apology. Justifying why you did something that you're apologizing for, you're basically saying, I had a good reason for doing it, and it just really takes the oomph out of that apology. So it's pretty clear how but can be a conversation ender, a fight starter, a connection killer, and that is a lot of harsh things for this teeny little word. So that's why it's important that we're talking about it. And obviously, what do we do instead? Let's talk about that. So there are 2 ways that I love to use to change the but pattern. One is to just make a sweet little switcheroo and use the word and instead. It might seem like that wouldn't make that big of a difference, but because we know the psychological impact of the word but, that it makes that first part way less important, the impact of the word and is that it makes both parts equally as important. So using the word and opens the door to connection. Using the word but, it just slams that door shut. So if your partner says to you, it makes sense that you're late, but now I'm mad that dinner's cold, that would become, it makes sense that you're late, and I'm upset. I'm mad that dinner's cold now. And means both things exist. It makes sense that you're late. You had to work. You couldn't get home. And I'm upset about it. And you can even hear the tone of my voice change to more warmth and understanding when I use the word and. So fun. So fascinating. I love it. I love our brains. I love all the things. So another example would be, I know you're stressed out and I totally get it, but I had a hard day too. That example, that would become, I know you're stressed out and I totally get it, and I had such a hard day too. This and, it makes it inclusive. We're both in it together. We're both feeling it. I see you, my experience exists too. We're in this together. And you might have noticed before, like listening or watching when I talk, or you might just start noticing it now, that I rarely use the word but when I talk. So an example of what this might look like if I was sitting here chatting, just imagine me, I'm sitting here talking about relationship poisoning. So like defensiveness or shutting down or criticism, whatever that is. And I say, it makes so much sense that you want to shut down when you feel hurt. But when you do that, you're just creating distance. Versus me saying, it makes so much sense that you want to shut down when you feel hurt. And when you do this, it only creates distance. The vibe is so different. And I don't really intentionally shift my tone. It's just like, that's the energy behind it. The but creates this contradiction. I'm basically saying to you, yeah, I hear you, you shut down, but here's why that's a problem. You might feel dismissed, even defensive as you're sitting here, which would make so much sense if you did because of the word but. The and, when I use it, holds space for both things to exist. It validates your experience because of course you'd want to shut down when you feel hurt by your partner. And it highlights the impact of that at the same time. And the and just isn't like this nicer way to say it. It's actually more true. Life isn't black or white. Two things can be real at the same time. Your pain makes total sense and your reaction has an impact. The and reflects the full picture, not just part of it. So I'm not just using it to sugarcoat things. I'm using it because it holds the whole truth and how I see the world. And a lot of the time when people use the word but, they actually mean and. But the second that other person, your partner or you, hears the word but, it changes the conversation. So I really hope that that paints a picture and can be, oh my goodness, it can be a total game changer to change to the word and. So that's one way to get rid of the but pattern. There's another way that I love. Just stopping at the first part of the sentence and having this mic drop moment so that you can lean into full validation and then leave the rest of your thoughts, whatever was going to follow that but, for another time. So maybe your partner tells you they're feeling really overwhelmed and you might say something like, I can totally see why you're really overwhelmed, but I need your help with this. Try stopping at, I can totally see why you're really overwhelmed. I had a client try this with their partner. Instead of saying what I just said, the but I really need your help. They just stopped at that, I see that you're overwhelmed. And what happened was their partner took a breath, relaxed a little, like visually they could see a change, and then actually offered to help them before they even had to ask. That is the power of pausing and letting that validation land. We just feel so seen. It also might help open up a conversation where you can really see and hear your partner. You can hear their experience. You can ask them curious questions and support them in whatever they might be going through. And of course, your needs are so important too. After your partner feels seen and heard and maybe gets that support that they needed, absolutely share your needs. It's so beautiful, like I've talked about before, painting the dream to share. I would love your help with this. That's going to land a lot different than, I can see you're overwhelmed, but I need your help with this. And if we go to that example of, I see you're stressed from your day, it sounds so busy, but I'm stressed out too. Try the old mic drop. After you say that part about, I see that you're stressed from your day, it sounds so busy. Mic drop. Jumping in with that but there can make it feel like to your partner that you're only saying it so that you can talk about your day. The mic drop creates space for them to feel seen and understood. And again, it opens up a chance for you to really hear them and be there and show up for them. They're going to be way more open to supporting you and hearing about your day if they feel seen and heard about theirs. And as I'm saying this out loud, I feel like it might sound like a manipulation just to get your needs met. In your relationship, though, the one that you clearly care about because you're here hanging out with me, you love your partner. You want a safe and loving space for both of you to feel seen. And these are the steps to get there. Some of the steps. This is just a whole snapshot. And in saying that it's a little snapshot, it might feel like a really small thing to focus on. Like, is this going to make that big of a deal? And this is what loving with intention is all about. It's about making small intentional changes that lead to big impact in your relationship. When I first learned about the impact of the word but, I wrote a note on my fridge, because I'm always doing that said, no buts. I shared with my partner what I learned, and I told him, this is something I'm going to be really intentional about. I didn't ask him to get on board with me. I just dove in with consistency. So helpful to have that reminder on the fridge. And now, but rarely comes out of my mouth, and the same goes for my partner too. There are also, side note, helpful buts. Helpful buts, we love buts. They're not all quote unquote bad or unhelpful, because when you start the sentence with something that you actually want to make less important, that's a great time for a but. And a lot of the time, swapping for that and or leaving it as a mic drop moment will be so much better in your relationship. So your intentional action for the week is to get super intentional about noticing the word but. Pop it on your fridge so it's top of mind. Notice how it feels when you hear it from others. Notice how it feels coming out of your mouth. And notice how much different it feels to say and or drop that mic after the first part. And it can be super impactful to share this with your partner or share anything that you've learned here today from a place of, wow, this is really interesting. I would love to work on this, rather than from a place of, I want you to work on this. Of course, it's so beautiful to invite them in on this mission too, just asking them, would you want to get intentional about this too? If they say no, this is another great moment for loving with intention. Meeting that no with so much love and respecting their choice. It is super common for partners to hear a relationship growth idea or, anything about relationship improvement or that you want to work on, and for their nervous system to get triggered. And they might have thoughts of, I'm being blamed, or this is a trick to make me change, or just questioning, what is this all about? And when we can meet their very valid choice with love, it can create safety around the whole thing. And it doesn't mean that you can't lean in and get super intentional on your own. They just might join you, be inspired by you, or have it naturally become part of their language too. The video on the screen is all about another tiny word that I've eliminated from my relationship as well, my partner too, because it has quite the negative impact as well. It is a sneaky one, so I recommend checking out that video to really level up your intention. I am sending so much love into your day. I'm so grateful that you are here. Subscribe if you are loving the content. Remember that nothing changes if nothing changes, so let's have a really intentional week.